We're about to occupy our building again. You got a problem with that? We're going to move our equipment back into our building. You got a problem with that?
You're not allowed to, mate. I'm sorry. Look, I'm just watching the place. Told you not to.
I know. You've got to have a basis, some legal basis.
I've just been told to sit here and make sure no one goes in the building. That's all I've been told to do. And I don't want to argue with you.
You know, I know what you mean, but I'm not going to put up with that because...
well, you have to go to someone else, because like, there's no
yeah, well, if you have to arrest me, you'll have to arrest me. I've got an email here.
Look, I'll tell you what, I'll get the cops down.
Ed Hancock.
No, hang on.
Yeah, no, we've got to listen to this.
LDS from LVW2, please.
Yeah.
Mate.
Thanks for keeping
Can
me
you please
informed.
come down here, please, now?
Ed Hancock. I sent an email to Inspector Chris Benjamin standing in for me to find out what is going on. I'm curious as to why the rowing club would want to remove the gear, as my understanding is that they have removed most of their equipment.
Look, I understand that, mate. I don't know any idea.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're in just as bad a position as us. You're being used as pawns by Duffy,
well, yeah, possibly, but I'm getting paid, mate.
Tell me, when you...
At least you're
excuse
getting
me,
paid.
I've never said that you could take.
And
Well,
I didn't ask you. I'm
you're
just
in a
taking...
public place.
Okay.
So if you're going to start playing that game, get off our park.
I'm not playing a game.
Well, if he's going to start saying he can't do that, what do you mean? You're trying to keep us out of our building when he's legally photographing things. You're saying you can't do it when in public the cops say promoting people to video incidents with the police. Hey, it's in public.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me.
But when it actually happens, they don't want it. You know why? Because it's fucking proof when it comes to court. It's the only thing that saved my ass a couple of times because of fucking lying cops, particularly Curry.
Tell me, when you're...
If it hadn't been for videos he made, I'd be in fucking jail because of the lies fucking Curry told the court.
Yeah, Phil, I need to
And I
know...
was only able to disprove them by having the video.
Yeah, no, I need to know... Phil,
You're fucking mate, you're sitting here preventing the owners from going in and using their building to restore the fucking lake.
tell me, when you say you are under instruction not to allow anybody into the
Start
building...
painting this building. I'm going to start
I'm not
painting
painting
the
anymore now, you just wait till the cops come.
I want to know, are you also to prevent the rowers from entering that building? Or are they allowed to enter?
What instructions are you acting under? Curry's.
When you say you are to prevent anybody entering the building, is that anybody or is that the rowers
This
included?
isn't even insured. It's in our name. What if something happens? It won't be the fucking rowers or mayor gets blamed. It'll be us.
Are you under instruction to prevent the rowers from entering this building as well?
It's just the owners. They've been squatting in there for 50 years. They've gone through the fucking
question.
established at the length of me, you know, like Curry was saying yesterday, there's no power to attempt to roll over the terms. This is a reserve. They can only give an exclusive use of 40 days per annum and only 6 days consecutively. Despite telling them this, instead of accepting this and working with us, they've behaved in the way they have so. That's been thrown out overnight. That's our equipment.
I don't dispute that.
Why is a fucking squatter's gear in there? Do they have to show you any papers to prove that they've got a valid reason in there? I can show you my papers.
I'm an authorised officer. I'm not a cop.
Oh, they got you doing it, yeah. Yeah, see that trick, Curry.
What an overkill.
Oh.
Because somebody raises their voice.
I wish they'd respond so quickly when I was getting assaulted. You know?
Oh, for goodness sake. 2 cars.
Now you can ask questions to them.
And I shall.
I wish you'd respond so quickly when I was getting assaulted and threatened.
Gentlemen.
Well, Look, this is our property, and I've just advised this lady that unless she can prove otherwise, we'll be moving our equipment back in there, mate.
Okay, well, that's not happening right now.
And I've just shown her. I don't blame her, don't worry, mate.
Go and talk to Phil. Yep.
He came out and
Well, as you know, you fuckers are standing up for the fucking squatters. It's not you personally, but Curry was down here yesterday, threatening to arrest us, allowing them to move our gear back out, put fucking locks on, change the, put the windows up again.
Yep.
And as you know, the Court of Appeal established it, and he was saying that Lester, the Lake Domain Board chairman, had given him permission. The Court of Appeal established that Lake Domain Board has no power to roll over the terms of the lease on a month-by-month basis. And mate, we got an email from your area commander Pat Hancock, who's over in East Timor at the moment, because he's asked us to keep them informed. This is going to turn into a major fucking embarrassment for you in election year, mate. He says here, thanks for keeping me in the loop. I've sent an email to Inspector Chris Penziman, do you know him?
Not sure.
He says, standing in for me, so he must be standing in for Pat as the area commander. I'm curious as to why the rowing club would want to remove the gear, as my understanding is that they have removed most of their equipment from the shed. I've asked them to keep me informed. And then he says, I trust that the Horizons work is progressing okay. This is the work he knows we're doing on the fucking lake. He knows that that building is going to be used for restoration work. He's been down here on a site visit, that new area commander, and he said himself, it's ridiculous that these fucking squatters right harbour,
And what's happened here with her today?
We just come over and asked and told her that we're moving our stuff with.
Oh.
And when we started, not
They
arguing, but she doesn't want to have to listen to us.
haven't got.
She just rang the police.
They haven't got.
Well, he's got it on fucking video if you want to see what's happened. As I told you, I'm not putting up with this, mate. We're going to move our fucking equipment back in, so you better go and tell your bosses to produce some fucking authority from the rowers as to why their gear's allowed in there. Yeah. I can show you the fucking papers proving that I own this land.
Now, I did ask this lady a question, she wouldn't answer it, and she said to ask you, and that question was, her instructions were not to allow anybody into this building. Does anybody include the rowers? Or is it just preventing the owners from entering their building?
Well, I don't know why she's been directed down here, that's nothing to do with me.
Oh, that fucking idiot Curry.
So, whose authority is she operating under?
I believe either Marty Bull or Derek.
Okay.
That's just what we read to Curry, giving you, some background, the legal background on it. That was yesterday. We read that to him.
Actually, it'd be good for him to read that, Phil.
You can take it if you want. Just what we read out to him. Like I said, this is from your fucking boss, Pat, in East Timor at the moment, so he's not too fucking impressed, I'm sure, to be having to deal with this after he thought these fuckers moved out last year. From Frank Grant, the Maori liaison officer, said they've moved their stuff out, the only stuff left is fucking property that ain't worth shit.
And this is boats with holes in it, old wooden oars.
We've waited till March to wait till we got the equipment, and now we just need that shed for restoration work, mate.
There's thousands of dollars worth of equipment sitting out in the open at Phil's, which could very easily be stolen, and he needs to lock it up. He does. I mean, it's a sad situation that the Crown has allowed this lake to get to this point. The owners have taken it upon themselves to put together a joint working party, and they are using their money on their land and buildings to restore
1.27 million. And you know yourself, until they stop this fucking stormwater coming into the lake, you're pissing into the wind with that money. That's your rate. That's good money you pay in tax. Look at this. Get a thing of all the cops that come down. You know, when I ring the cops, I'm not getting fucking assaulted. I'm lucky if the cunts will turn up. Remember when Vivian got assaulted?
Yeah.
After the bloke had run and told you he was going out there with a gun, you cunts didn't even reply. It's not just me. My fucking sister and her family too. got left to the mercy of these fucks. Oh, here he is, fucking Derek. Oh, we're not going to investigate your complaint, Derek. That's it. That's that idiot.
No shit, different day.
Huh?
Yes, yes, like a thing.
You investigated any of our complaints yet, Derek? Hey?
One, Philip.
Yeah, well, there are a few,
See
aren't
what I
there?
mean? Fucking idiot.
This one. The one that you came back to me with.
Go fuck yourself, Derek, alright? Not listening to you, cunt, that's for sure.
Charming.
Fucking charming, alright? You boot fucking owners out of
G'day.
their property. All
I'm
your
good.
fucking little mates from the rows who got no fucking right to be in there.
Charlie.
And then you threat to arrest us.
Pardon?
Charlie.
I'm Brian.
You're going to put up with that, Derek?
Thanks, Jim.
Hey, and when I put that fucking complaint in about the day old the mayor was down here.
Well,
Fucking no permit.
there's a group called the Joint Working Party that have been in existence for about 2 years, and they've bought a whole lot of equipment with their own money to start restoring the lake. And
That's your job.
they want to use their land and buildings
Yes.
to store that equipment.
And we got a fucking email
The
from
rowing
this morning
club moved
from Pat
out in
Hancock,
December,
these fucking
and we got
people
that from Grant
trying to
Nichols,
get a hold of that
that he said, look, they've moved
who's
out.
listening, find out what the fuck
Phil's
you
left it
dogs
till
do
now
down
to
here.
want to move the
Right, to see how long
equipment
you
in
little
here.
nuts
He moved it
keep
in.
it up.
Rowers turned up yesterday, threw
And I'm moving
everything
into
out,
that fucking building today.
and
you understand?
claimed to
I'm moving that building. I'm moving into that building
occupation of
today.
the building.
You understand,
But
Derek?
all they've left in there is rubbish, like old wooden oars, like everything's Kevlar these days, and
I'm telling you.
boats that have got holes in them, so all they're doing is having it for a storage facility of rubbish and keeping the owners out of their own building. I don't know how long it's going to go on for, because the courts have acknowledged that it's a Maori-owned building, that it's Maori-owned land, and the courts have also acknowledged that they can't
You think this is humorous, Derek?
occupy the building for more than 6 days in concession, the rowing club, and not more than 40 days in any given year. But the Lake Domain Board, who is pretty well outvoted by Horowhenua District Council, won't acknowledge any of the bylaws and want to keep the owners out of it and keep the rowers in. For why, I don't know, but of course Doc and Horowhenua District Council are all part of the so-called Lake Accord, which is an entity that's designed to gain government funding to be seen to be cleaning up the lake. I mean, realistically, they haven't done a single thing to clean the lake up in 50 years, and it's got to the point that, you know, we've got photographs of Horizon actually shifting weeds around all over the place. You know, got a trailer that's absolutely just covered in weeds. And,
Is that what he's been doing?
what, Horizon?
No, you. You guys are cleaning it out.
Well, yeah,
Seen
well,
something on the paper.
Phil's sort of in project manager mode, I suppose, for the Joint Working Party at the moment. There's another guy at the moment cleaning the block building down so they can store equipment there as well. And I guess his position is that the police are obstructing owners from entering their own buildings and storing their own equipment to clean up their own lake, you know, which seems ridiculous.
So they got a piece of paper that says it's owned by. Oh yeah. Oh true. Yeah. It's owned by the actual owners.
The Maori owners, yeah.
Only the owners.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I totally agree. But and it shouldn't get to this point, but it's got very personal between Mayor Duffy and Phil because they've never liked each other, so I think that he's misusing his position to irritate, to say the least, the owners. And he also doesn't not want the lake cleaned up because it's Horowhenua District Council that's most guilty for polluting it via the Queen Street Drain, which they have not got a consent for. And they tried to ratify in the Lake Domain Board a 40-year-old unsigned document, which...
What's on document?
Unsigned.
Oh, unsigned.
Yeah, no one signed it. And they says, oh, this is the document that gave us the consent to use the Queen Street Drain to pour it into a privately owned lake. And, you know, they've even agreed themselves that they can't argue in court.
You're more worried about these fucking selfish little squats.
It's defer, and just making people.
On top of it.
Sorry, I'm sort of trying to watch this at the same time. But it's a standoff, no doubt. And if the police were to stop Phil entering this, then they should also stop the rowers from entering it. And I don't. That was the question I asked this lady: is when you say your instructions are not to allow anybody into the building, does that include the rowers? And she wouldn't answer me, so I still haven't got an answer to that.
When that comes up in court.
I'm a simple man.
Yeah.
I know this is
Look, it's a very complex situation.
probably even before I was born, but
It is 1905 or something it started.
But at the end of the day, if there's a court order that says that's the landowner's land and building,
Yeah.
that's pretty straightforward to me. I'm a
Okay.
simple guy.
Yep. Well, if you said that to Phil, he'd be opening the door right now, you know, and you can't really blame him for getting as angry as he is, because you know, every day that goes by, this equipment's sitting out.
Where's the equipment?
Oh, it's over at his place at the moment, but he can't lock it up.
Right.
And you know, there's a $3,500 pump amongst it, and 2 men could pick it up and just drive away with it.
Okay.
But more than that, it's stopping them from fixing up their own lake, and it is a privately owned lake. You do know that, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dad's one of the only.
Yeah,
My dad.
oh, really?
My dad.
What's your last name?
Rudd.
Oh, Charles. Yes. Oh, I thought I recognised you.
I've got a bit of a.
Oh, good man.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I thought I'd come down and sort of a bit of a background for Dad.
Good on you. I watched you throw that Conrod at the Hot Rod show the other day.
Oh yeah.
What a hoof, mate. That was a bloody good shot.
Yeah, I must have had a little bit.
Good
little
breakfast.
Bit, yeah, good breakfast. Not as big as the old big boy, the other guy. So has this been watched, or I don't know what's it?
Well, they had a 24-hour sort of guard on it, which is a bit of an overkill too. Plus, you know, 4 cars coming full noise because someone raises their voice and just wants to enter their own building.
I better read this.
Yeah, no, that's it. I forgot your first name. Sorry.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, you're Charles
I'm
Junior.
Junior.
Yeah, right.
Get it in your head, the Lake Domain Board has no control over these buildings,
Hey,
as per the Act.
bit of progress here.
Yeah.
Charles has said that if what I said to him is true, and I'm pretty sure it is, then he sees it that you are one of the owners of the land and buildings, and there's no reason as far as he can see why you can't Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, we can prove it.
Well, last time, you know, we went in there after Duffy had gone in the Murray Land Court and testified, perjured himself and said there were toilets in these buildings. So me and Brian, when we came back,
Oh, yeah.
we went in here, took photos of them, and then you fellas come down and arrested us for it. But then 2 days later, you fucking withdrew this when you realise you can't charge a person, a fucking owner, for being in his own building. So the charges you do
Big bump?
investigate fuck up anyway.
Yes. Yep.
All of them, mate. The whole lot. 100%.
And Pat Hancock's involved too, but he's Timor, mate. And
Well, you know, Wata and them, Wata Shepherd and Wayne Parnapa, they've been a huge help coming down here and trying to sort out shit in the background, trying to reduce fucking friction. So what do these fuckers do? Allow the rowing club back in to take our fucking gear out and threaten to arrest us.
hey, Phil, have you got court documents that say that the Maori are the owners of the land buildings? No, well, Charles reckons he can do something with that.
Well, Charles won't be doing anything about it because it's at a very, very high level. It will be done properly through the proper channels. Okay?
So you're going to stop Charles from allowing the owners into their own building?
I'm going to say
Yeah.
that
I'm sure Derek has too.
necessary, discuss this with the officer in charge of the case, Sergeant Senior Sergeant Marty Ball, at this stage as far as I'm aware, and from there the correct determination will be made.
Okay, tell me, Derek.
No, I'm not asking any more.
No, look, I haven't asked any questions yet. I'm going to ask you your first one. Yes, I am. And if you're frightened of the answer, then it's not going to look too good. But is this lady instructed to keep the rowers out of the building as well? It's a very simple question. Or is it just to keep the owners out? Gee, that's a fair question, Derek. Oh, he's gone over to the house, Charles.